Can you run your dog training business out of a co-working space? That's what we're going to talk about in this episode. I have a client who signed up for a couple of coaching calls. I do 1 hour coaching calls, and her name is Lola Ray Carter. Maybe you know her on Facebook. She recently moved her dog training business from Wyoming to Northwest Arkansas and didn't really have a space to train, decided to use a co-working space. Hi, I'm Adam Katz, and if you want a consistent stream of desperate dog owners calling you each and every day, each and every week, and each and every month, looking for exactly your services, check out my done-for-you Facebook ads management service over at dogtrainertoolbox.com. We've also got a lot of other services and information products to help you grow your dog training business. Now, I don't know Lola Ray's individual co-working space. I've never been there, but I've used a lot of co-working spaces myself over the years. I'm going to give Lola Ray the benefit of the doubt because she's been in the dog training business for a long time and she knows her typical clientele. And she's also seen the co-working space. So there may be elements to this that are just beyond my awareness. So let's separate Lola Ray's specific circumstance from the more broad general idea of using a co-working space to run your dog training business from, including meeting clients and doing training. Now, in my experience, I've used co-working spaces for my online businesses over the years. I've used them on the East Coast, on the West Coast. I've used them in Latin America. And there are a couple of challenges. Now, number one, it's really great in the sense that you can get a community desk or community space to work at for usually couple $100 a month. If you want a more private desk, like your own individual desk where you can leave your desktop computer, usually it's a little bit more money. And then typically they'll have a small office space, like a little room that you can rent, right? For that's your little space for a little bit more money, usually around $500-600. In addition to that, they'll typically have like a conference room that you can sign up in advance for to kind of rent out, and you get it for maybe $20-30 an hour, something like that in most cases. The issues that I see are several. Number one, in order to get into the co-working space, most of these co-working spaces control access because they don't want just anybody walking in and using the space or walking out with the coffee maker, for example. So in order to meet clients there, they would have to go through the front entrance like everybody else, passing the receptionist, having to say, hey, I'm here to meet, XYZ dog trainer. And in my experience, I don't see how that wouldn't be disruptive, especially if you're walking past everybody else using the co-working space. I mean, in my experience, a lot of prospective dog training clients, they have no control over the dog. The dog may be jumping up and down, back and forth, whining, crying, sometimes urinating or defecating. And as a patron, as a user of the co-working space, as other people, as a typical client of a co-working space, how long before that gets real old and you decide to leave? I can tell you, when I had my own facility, just within the first year, I had a huge Rottweiler that came in that was super nervous, and he ended up expressing his bowels, and he had diarrhea, and it was like soup and chili that immediately spread over 3/4 of our 1,300 square foot space, and it became an immediate biohazard. I couldn't use the building for the rest of the day. I can't imagine how pleased the co-working space owners as well as the other patrons would be if that were to happen to you. Not to mention just unruly dogs or potentially aggressive dogs. And it's not like the clients don't lie, or the prospective clients don't lie. I had an incident where I had a woman come in, and it was a big fluffy long-haired German Shepherd, didn't fit any profile. She assured me that he was all bark and no bite. And as soon as we sat down, I didn't even touch the dog. As soon as I sat down across from her, she let the leash out and the dog lunged forward and bit me on the hand bad enough that there was a lot of blood. And I had to go to the emergency room. So that kind of stuff happens. Not to mention just like lower level stuff in regard to, just anxious dogs that whine and create noise and bark and jump and pee on things. I just don't see how it could work. And my biggest concern would be you sign up, you start running your dog training business, you start getting a consistent flow of clients coming in, and then they say, no, this isn't going to work. You got to go. And then you got to really scramble to figure out, where you can train. Again, Lola's situation may be different. For all I know, maybe there's a sheltered area out back with an overhang or I don't know what. But just on the surface of it, it doesn't strike me as workable. So I posed this question in the Dog Trainer Marketing group on Facebook, and about 30% thought it was a really good idea. 70% thought it was not a good idea. So that kind of tells you where at least the people who responded to the poll, where their heads are at, kind of the same as mine. I would much rather see a dog trainer, go out to local feed stores or local pet stores and see if you can arrange something, where you might use the back area, especially if it's like a warehouse area that's got climate control, or if not, find a warehouse that has too much space and they're willing to lease you out a little area that you could use. Sometimes churches or synagogues, they'll have an area that they're not using and they would love to make an extra $300-400 a month off you, especially if you're only using it for one-on-one clients. So you might have to get a little bit creative. I just don't think that using a co-working space to meet clients and to do training is a good, viable, long-term solution. I don't think it's even a good short-term solution. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments, or if you're a member of the Dog Trainer Marketing Group. If you're not, it's free to join. I would love to hear your thoughts in the Dog Trainer Marketing Group on Facebook. Also, I run Facebook ads for dog training business owners, just like yourself. You can learn more at dogtrainertoolbox.com. I'm Adam Katz. Have a good one, guys.